Here we are again, so soon. People will start talking. We are here yet again to do yet another unboxing. I have been going a little giddy of late. I don't know why. Possibly boredom, a bit of frustration, but you know, a bit of retail therapy, right? So, yeah, something else has arrived. Now, this, of course, as you guessed from the title, is a WPL. It's the E-Class, which is the tracked vehicle. I can't remember what they exactly call it, E54 or something, I don't know what they call it, but it's the E-Class, fully tracked. It's a GAZ 71 in real life, so it is a real truck like all their other trucks. It's kind of based on something not licensed, of course, so it's got one or two style differences, but yeah, effectively it is a GAZ 71 tracked vehicle. It's just arrived this morning. I've literally come in from work about half an hour ago, saw it on the doorstep, and quickly got changed, set the lights up, and here we are. It's hotter than hell here at the moment, humid. It's about 1,000,000% humidity in the UK at the moment, in the south of London, south of England I should say, north of London, south of England, and all points in between, perhaps, maybe, definitely, maybe. Anyhow, that's enough clatter. Let's get on with it, shall we? Now, might speed this up, I might not. What I've done is I've brought down my other WPLs, my C44 and my little GAZ 66. I've also brought my little 18ths down, the Arizona and the Bronco here, just for size comparisons, because I've not seen anyone compare this to everything else. I know you can look at the dimensions, but they don't always tell the whole story, right? Well, they do, but you have to sometimes see it. Now, this was bought from WPL's website the very minute I could buy it, and it's arrived, you know, from wherever it comes from, Asia somewhere, to the UK with only a small puncture wound in the cardboard packaging here. So, again, this is a very sturdy looking thing. It's not bendy or anything, you know. The old days of WPLs arriving as if they'd been airdropped in. I was just joking to Steve at RC Crawlers today about that. Those days seem to be long behind us. If you buy from WPL themselves, you're going to get something that arrives in the manner they expected it to. You know, if you buy it from Banggood or whatever, then you take your chances, I suppose. Now, I'm quite excited to see that WPL have also changed their packaging from the black box with the red and gold stripes on to something a little bit much more, something quite a lot upmarket, I believe. So I can pull this out of here. There we go. Look at that. That's pretty upmarket, isn't it? I do appreciate most of you have probably seen much more popular videos on this truck than this one. Our humble channel can't compete with the big guys, so I was going to give a shout out to an American guy, Ampro Engineering. I don't remember his real name. I will try and find it out and add it on the video somewhere, but AMPRO, I'll put a link down below, maybe up above somewhere, to his version of this as well, because he does great videos, great reviews of the various tiny trucks that are around. Now, so yes, we get the nice box, carry handle and so on. Very good, nicely printed. And the thing that really sold this on me, as I suspect it has done with many people, is the promise of a tractor unit and trailer that WPL have said they'll do if they sell enough of these, which I think smells like a marketing ploy to me, but hopefully we will get an articulated WPL setup which is both well detailed, decent quality for, you know, what it has to be, and affordable. I'm quite excited about that idea, and not huge. If you try and do that in 10th scale or 12th scale, even the cross rigs, you end up with something that's 2 meters long and just logistically very difficult to have. But in this scale, that would be a very exciting idea indeed. Like so. Now I would say, I've got to point this out, but I would like to see a little less plastic in the industry. The plastic model industry, yes, I'm aware, but you know, we're getting our money's worth out of this stuff, right? But this stuff, not so much. You know, I think we must be getting to the point where this amount of throwaway plastic really shouldn't be happening. This could be, for my mind, this could be done in cardboard, you know, kind of like an egg box kind of cardboard, just as protective, just as I would hope cheap, and frankly, rowdy neighbours, and frankly, if we could get to pay another £2 or £3 per unit per truck to get cardboard fully recyclable WPL, I'm talking to, I think we should do it, don't you? Come on. If the rumours are true, you guys are only going to get this stuff back again, because I think that's where we ship all of our crap to, innit? Chuck it on a boat and send it over to the other side of the world and forget about it. We tried that with the Australians and it didn't really work, did it? Came back to beat us at cricket. And many other things. Anyway, I digress. So, let's get this open, shall we? I might cut that joke out about the Australians. Small instruction book, bag of bits, and here it is. And fairly standard WPL remote, which I have to say as well, I don't have to, but I'm going to anyway, because I'm running the show here. These WPL transmitters, I do like them. They do seem to fit all manner of hand sizes and hand shapes. They are not big, so they don't take up a huge amount of room. And okay, you can't stand them down because they haven't got a foot on them, but the benefit of that is they aren't 3 times the size, and they go in a bag easier. I think, you know, most of us would just put it down. If you need to put your remote down, you put it down. If you're worried about it, you can always glue bits of tape on, you know, put some padding on, felt pads and things like for furniture, putting furniture on the floor, put them, stick a couple of them on so it sits on them. I mean, there's all manner of things you do. But I like the size of it, I like the feel of it, the matte finish is nice, probably not very hard wearing, but it'll do. And it just fits well in the hand. You can single hand steer nice and easily, even with my arthritic old fingers. Yeah, good stuff. So, to the truck, if that's what I can call it. I'm not calling it a tank, because it hasn't got a gun. And it doesn't hold liquids. So it's neither a tank or a tank. You guys can call it a tank if you want, but don't come knocking at my door with your tank talk, because it isn't, in my mind, a tank. It's a tracked vehicle. It needs to have a big gun and a turret to be a tank. That's it, just as far as I'm going to say. So what does it have? It doesn't have a gun, but what does it have? It has, well, I've learned from the various other channels, yes indeed, look, it has suspension on the idler wheels. And these that suspension is a whole series of torsion bars that runs underneath this plate. You take this bottom plate off, there's all the torsion bars which give you a little bit of wheel flex so that it can go over things like scissors, and you get a bit of, look at that, bit of the old suspension going on there. It's not bad, is it? Doesn't have suspension at the front and back drive wheels, of course. I think it's effectively only 2-wheel drive. I can't remember which end the motor's in. The 2 motors are in. I'm guessing the front. I'm guessing they're in the front. I'm not going to strip this all down on this video, okay? Just, there are other videos, the ones I've mentioned, they do take it apart. You can see what's inside. It's basically a whole empty shell, 2 little motors, the front I believe it is, driving. One motor drives one side, one motor drives the other side. So I think these are the drive wheels at the front. I could be wrong, but in this sense it doesn't really matter, does it? It doesn't matter which set of wheels are driven, but it's not all 4, it's just front or the back. I guess it'll be the front. I would think for reasons of, it would make sense it was the front wheels that were driven. But what do we get? We get opening doors and we get a fully detailed interior. Shall I bring the camera in a little bit? Alrighty, so here we are, and you can see it a little bit better now, I hope. So yes, the suspension is really nice. Get a nice bit of absorbency on there. The tracks are rubber. Allegedly, according to Tom Lee, he did mention that there were some metal tracks seen in kind of spy shots, you know, or something. But maybe there'll be some metal tracks coming for it later, which I might be in two minds about, because you're adding a lot of weight and a lot of friction, and that's going to stress the motors out. So we'll see. I mean, this is not, you know, an axial 10.2 or a 10.3 or TRX4, is it? So ultimate performance may not be entirely necessary. I think I would like a little bit of track sag. So if the metal tracks sagged nicely on top of the wheels and things, that would be good. But yeah, I don't know. I suspect there'll be pros and cons to the metal tracks. And you know, it doesn't need to be climbing up huge, great hills. There is texture on here. They are ribbed. For your pleasure, Mom. They are ribbed. Yes, you get removable doors, openable doors, I should say, little hinges and everything. This white cargo cover comes off. Oh, and it is a struggle. Everyone else seems to struggle to get it off, said the actress to the Archbishop. So that reveals a nice, useful little cargo zone. It's got a little bit of detail on the floor there, which is nice. Yeah, it does beg, as Ampro did say, it does beg to have this cut and some hinges put on, so you can actually open the back gate. Probably not what they call it in the army, but I think that's the translation from Russian to English. And that's quite a nice little feature. So you've got the doors, you've got a decent amount of interior detail to get you by. It does come with some fans, it comes with an exhaust, so you've got lots of little bits of scale detail that you can see that even the fans go round apparently. I don't know why, but they do. Yeah, quite a lot of little bits of detail. I think I did notice on some of the videos that these are hard, indeed they are hard plastic mud flaps at the back and at the front, which I think I would get rid of. Especially the ones at the back are going to get hung up on everything and just snap off, and they look like they should be rubber. I can't believe that they aren't rubber, and it's an advert or something, wasn't it? So I think these will be replaced fairly shortly in its life, I would think. Yeah, there's a screw, and there's a screw underneath there, and they just pull off, so they may be replaced. So what I might do is what I did with the MOG mud guards at the front, is put some rubber strips on, but because that will probably curl under, is put some clear Lexan, put like a strip of Lexan down the middle, you know, half the way, just to keep them pushed out, just to give them some shape still, and try and stop them getting under the tracks and stuff. So yeah, that might be a little thing to do. But that aside, I don't really have any great plans with this. You've got windows, you've got glass in there, which is really nice. I think there's windscreen wipers and so on to really jazz. So obviously wheel covers. They're one of the main ingredients in the bag there. You can see all the discs. And my main aim with this, I've got my kids coming. They're coming to stay with me for the week. It's Wednesday night, so they're coming on Saturday. Is what I'd quite like to do. Look, there's the charger. Oh, the battery. The battery lives behind the cab here in this little door, little compartment there. You've got your little lithium ion. It's not a LiPo, I'm pretty sure. 600 milliamp. I think it's a Li-ion battery. There's the charger, so just the usual. But it is almost, well, just as rechargeable battery on there, but it's the usual WPL twin pack battery. And yeah, so what I'd like to do is get my 8-year-old lad to help me paint this, or indeed do it himself as much as he can. I'm going to go with yellow. I'll put a picture on the video of what I'm going to try and do with this little thing. You've even got glazing in here. There's little windows are glazed. You can pop out glazing strips in the windows, which is a nice little scale touch. windscreen wipers, exhaust covers, doors with WPL on the inside. How nice. Yeah, there's quite a lot. You can get a little screwdriver, look. Wow, you can get a little screwdriver. Do we get any stickers? What do we get sticker wise? Oh, we get the usual WPL Dragon. I believe WPL stands for something, or means it's something to do with Funky Dragon or something. Tomley was saying. I think it was Tomley was saying. Anyway, that's what the Dragon's all about. It is actually part of what WPL means or something. So that's it. Yeah, brilliant. There's don't know that there's batteries in this. No batteries in the transmitter. Almost ready to run, but not quite. So very excited. Yeah, this is going to be really nice. It's going to be yellow, like I say, and I'm going to do a little bit of weathering with the lad, and we'll try and do a bit of washes and try and make it look a little bit fancy. He has got the what's it called, the Ripsaw that came out a couple of years ago. That's up in the loft. It broke fairly early on in his 6-year-old driving. He was a bit rough-handed with it, and it stripped a gear, and spares are, forget it. So I have promised him a new tracked vehicle, so this might very well be it. As I say, the main aim of this really is to be dragged along on the upcoming trailer. That's what I'm really aiming at. I'm not going to do huge run videos with this. I don't think so anyway. But yeah, so it's very nice. Now, what I promised you was a size comparison, so let me just clear the deck here a little bit. First up, C44, which is technically a bigger scale. I think this is meant to be 16th scale. It says 1/16 on the instructions, which is their typical truck range, 16th scale. So let's try it with the Gaz first. While we're talking about typical trucks, let's try it with their typical Army 16th scale truck. So this is their Russian Gaz. Sits a little higher, this one, than normal, just because I've made it do that. And as you can see, it's substantially taller than the Gaz 71. So we've got the Gaz 66, Gaz 71. Gazettes, shall we call them. The daily gazettes. But it's about the same length. Okay, so it's about the same length as the, this is a B24, I think so. Can't remember their exact designation of these things, but the Gaz truck, it's about the same length, way lower, of course, as you would expect these things to be. But it is, I can see these sitting together. I can see the scales not far off. The Gaz is not a small truck by any means, but it's not a huge thing. This is really just a two-person with a cargo bay. Perhaps you could squeeze a few soldiers or labourers in there, whatever. But yeah, it's a two-person cab. It's not a big thing, and indeed, the cab's not 100 miles away from where the Gaz is with that. So yeah, I'd say that's going to fit in pretty well with the 16th scale operation. Now, the bigger 60 CC44. This has got a broken rear link mount, hence the droop and general bits hanging out the back end. So you can see the C44 is a fair bit longer than the 71, and clearly not the same scale. So that's good to know. I think the C44 is about 12th scale, and it's pretty clear. The C44, I love it. Every time I look at it, pick it up and really look at it, I think this must be my favourite truck of all the ones I've got. And then I put it on the shelf and forget about it. I don't even fix it. So, like £80 or something it was. What an awesome beast it is. It has snapped here, as I say, the rear suspension axle mounted link carrier thing has snapped. So, it's a bit sorry for itself. But a beautiful thing. But clearly not the same scale as this big boy. Now, the Arizona and the Bronco, these two are 18th scale crawlers. Size wise, yeah, okay. I mean, it probably is wider than a Jeep. I would say that could be the case. It's not as tall as a Jeep. That's also likely to be the case. It's a little bit longer than the Arizona. There you go, you can see a little bit of a gap here. A little bit longer than the Arizona. So, I don't even think it's going to sit I think it's doable. I think I could run these two together without, you know, too many pointy fingers, without my teeth itching too hard, my OCD kicking in. The Bronco, yeah, again, by some distance my favourite mini crawler, just because of that and that. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, this is yeah, I think, you know, 16th scale. I think these things are a little bit of an approximation. I may get to the point where I measure this and compare it to the length of the real thing if I can find it, but I don't think it's too bad. I mean, I hope that gives you some size idea. You know, what's this like next to the different scales of rigs? You know, it's going to be way too small next to something like a C44. It certainly isn't 12th scale. It's not even 14th scale. It's definitely 16th. You probably would get away with an 18th next to it. Nowhere near a 24th scale either, so don't even think about that. But yeah, there you go. The WPL E-Class, I will paint it and then run it. I may do a little run video before we paint it. I don't know. Maybe check out Instagram. You'll probably see this running about in the garden or something. I think it just moves back and forward. You know, I don't think there's a great deal to be had by me making a bad video, so I'm not sure. I might wait until it's painted and done and then get out and about and do a proper video of it. Try and do it justice. There's plenty of other videos out there where they have literally just had a battery plugged in them and chucked in a garden or something and scooted about. So check those out probably before you'll see one from me. But there you go. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. And you know how much I paid for this? £51 delivered halfway around the world to the UK in about a week. So, you know, WPL have their knockers, right? Am I allowed to say that? It's been a while. They have their haters, but it is crisp, it's got detail, it's got presence, and with a little touch of magic from the old weathering brushes and things, you can really make these things look convincing, and that's most of us are trying to do it, make them convincing. So, you know, for 50 quid, yeah, it might break after a couple of hard runs. I guarantee WPL will have spares, so that's a good thing. But do you know what, for 50 quid, the fact that it got here in one piece, frankly, it's heading for value for money already. So it's not a TRX, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna expect a £500 kit performance from it, or reliability, or build quality, or anything else. I mean, there's some rather nasty crosshead screws all the way under the, you know, above the wheels, things like that. You know, you could do with a little bit of something on there just to hide those. But you know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing. I really like it. I'm really impressed. Yeah, really impressed. So there you go. That's the WPL E-Class. Specifically, you all know which one it is. It's all over YouTube at the moment. Does it even say what actual the thing it is? No, nothing. No, nothing on the boxes. Nothing. No. Right. So it's their E-Class. That's all I'm going to say. And it does that. You can do that with it. You can plug it all in, which is awesome, isn't it? Really handy. All right. Thank you and good night.